呢，我们邀请到的是我们冷血的男朋友哈。为什么现在是男朋友呢？咱们也知道哈，其实我觉得我们这个姐夫是很早就想娶这个冷血姐了，没问题吧？对吧？但是由于大家知道冷血的故事哈，结了婚吧哈，然后离婚，这个离婚就离了现在5年了，还没折腾清楚呢。所以呢，现在真的是哈，这个姐夫也是一直很耐心的在等待啊。今天呢，我们就是随性的去聊一下，因为呢，没有让姐夫做什么太多的准备啊，姐夫是很自信的说没问题哈，所以我们就直接去问。然后呢，冷血这儿的英文呢又没有像小妹那样的哈那么的顺溜哈，所以翻译啥的没那么顺溜，所以今天呢就是我们的姐夫说完之后呢，我做翻译，就是大概齐的把这个姐夫的核心内容给大家翻译出来，这样的好吧啊？而且呢，这个真的是刚才咱们这个 CR7 说true love 哈，那姐夫跟冷血这个之间真的是 true love， 真的是哈，而且是2个人从来没有吵过架。这个是让我很吃惊的，就是合适，对吧？就是合适哈。所以今天我也希望咱们广大的男性、女性哈，就是能够通过这次采访知道什么呢？知道其实爱是真的没有国界的，不是只是说说而已哈。OK， 好，那么今天我们就开始喽，开始了哈。Okay, so Maeve, good evening. So could you briefly introduce yourself first?
Sure. My new name is
张龙。
老牛。
No， 张龙，我给他起了个，他说我得起个名字吧，不能叫真名字。我说那叫你张龙吧。然后这个都我喜欢
太土了。
张
龙。So it can be your nickname or 张龙 ，OK 。你们俩太欢乐了，我都不知道这个名字。OK，so go on。
因为我跟他说了 ，dragon 是这个中国的一个那个什么嘛，很好吉祥的。
Old bull like young grass.
张龙。
Okay, 张龙。
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm a small businessman and have met a very nice woman that I'm very happy with.
Okay. Okay. 张龙 ，Let me just translate first. 张龙刚才说呢，他呢，这个刚起了个新名字叫张龙哈，龙就是 dragon 的意思嘛。那么他呢是一个就是做小生意的，谦虚哈，做小生意的。然后呢，他遇到了一个非常好的女人，就是我们冷血姐哈。OK，go on.
Go on, yeah.
More about me?
So that's all. That's all you want to say about yourself?
Well, I can tell you about my hobbies, or what do you want to hear?
So let me just go on for the next question. Would you like to share how you met Sophia? Sophia is 冷血哈，是我们冷血姐。So would you like to share how you met her?
Sure. We met on an online dating website.
OK， 就是他们2个是在一个网上的那种约会的那个网站遇到的，有点像我们那个叫什么世纪园什么乌七八糟的哈。美国呢有2个非常好的网站，然后我的很多的姐妹都是在这个2个网站上遇到自己的老公，然后结婚非常幸福的哈。一个是 eHarmony， 另外一个是 Match.com。
Yeah.
So which one you guys met?
We met on Match.com, which is very difficult because for me anyway, you see so many people and nobody for me was very interesting and until I saw one picture and one profile, and then I knew I had to meet this woman.
Oh my goodness, really? For sure.
Yeah,
所以刚才张龙先生说呢，说张龙说很别扭啊。张龙先生说呢，就是他其实非常的就是到了这个网站呢， 就是就是你会发现那里面好多人，各种层面的很多人，然后就是觉得不知所措哈。但是直到呢，他看到了咱们冷血姐的 profile， 就整个的这个介绍，无论从照片啊，还是这个整个的里面会讲到你爱好什么呀这些内容哈，他觉得他必须要见见这个女人。
Yeah.
So you guys met on Match.com. So Match.com, as I know, is full of girls and boys that are very, very handsome and beautiful. So comparing with eHarmony, for me, I think eHarmony has a lot of rich people or very successful people, but they might not they might not be good looking. But Match.com is， 就是说。大家如果将来要去网上征友的话，其实在美国两个非常好的就是 Match.com 跟那个 eHarmony。eHarmony 的话都是没有那么就都没那么性感哈，但是这个Match.com 里面的女孩子都特别漂亮哈，所以他们俩是在这个 Match.com 遇到的。Okay, so 张龙 we learned from Sophia's story that she is actually a very amazing woman. What characteristics that Sophia attracts you the most? Because you just mentioned that when you saw Sophia's profile, you said you had to meet this woman, right? So what the characteristic that really attract you?
Well, from the profile, there wasn't much to go by other than pictures and very simple information. But that was enough to make me want to meet this person, because I really had no interest in meeting other people on this website until I saw her profile. But if you'd like to know what happened after we met, then I'd be happy to talk about that.
Okay, sure. 首先呢，我就问他，我说，你说你看到这个 eHarmony Match.com 上面的这个冷血的介绍哈，那是什么吸引了你哈？你觉得他有哪些的性格特点让你很打动你？他说呢，就是刚看那个 profile 的时候呢，其实就是里面介绍的东西是很少的，很有限的，但是他就感觉他觉得这个女人会很有意思，他一定要见见这个女人。然后他说希望讲一讲就是见到了之后的。So can you share some other details about meeting her at the first time?
Yeah, sure. So we decided we would meet at a local restaurant, and the restaurant had a bar, so it made sense to meet at the bar before we go in for dinner, because I hope we would have dinner that night. But you never know, right? Because you meet for the first time, maybe you don't like each other. So the idea was have a drink and then see what happens.
Okay.
And
Smart.
Go ahead.
Okay. Yes, sure. 所以就是说，他一开始见了之后呢，他们在一个饭店嘛，那个饭店特别好，就在有那个吧台。所以就是一般是美国人这约会的时候呢，就是说他先跟你先喝点东西。就是如果说聊得很开心，聊得很好，觉得很合适，就会去吃晚饭，因为晚饭是需要花钱的，对吧？就要去吃晚饭。但是呢，就是要先看一看吧，不合适的话呢，就可能喝点东西就 say 拜拜了。Yes.
So I'm waiting at the bar, and you see pictures online. You don't actually know if the person that would show up will actually look that way, right? Because so many people put up fake pictures or doctored pictures. But I kept looking at the door, and when she walked in the door, I knew right away that was the person that I wanted to meet. And so I waved, and she came over, and she sat down and we had a drink, and then right away I was hoping we'd have dinner together, and luckily she agreed to have dinner after the first drink.
OK， 就是他呢就是在那儿等嘛，就是吧台那儿等着，然后呢他说因为在那个是在这个网上嘛，你虽然有照片，但是你也不一定能够确定，对吧？到照片是不是能对上人？但是当冷血就是走到门口的时候，就是进来的时候，他看到第一眼他就知道他就是愿意跟这个女人聊天的，一定就是他。然后呢，他就特别希望说，一会儿可以一起吃晚饭。结果呢，冷血那天也是特别，就是他觉得他自己很幸运哈。那天呢，就冷血也有时间，所以他们就一起吃了晚饭。So do you still remember the conversation at the first time?
Yes.
说你们还记得聊了啥吗？
That's really culture different, right?
It's because we don't. Her English is not very good, so
Not is very good. It's really bad, actually.
So the conversation is very simple, but it's funny. I was still fascinated and very excited about meeting her, and could tell what a nice person she was, and so we quickly, somehow, I don't even know how we did it, but somehow we said, okay, well, let's go have dinner together, and we got a table for two in the back of the restaurant.
Yeah.
Okay, so you mentioned that her English is not that good, but do you feel like does it really influence the talking, or is language a problem?
Well, of course,
Use the translator.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay, 有了翻译器。
Some things are right. It wasn't ideal, I guess, but still, there was something beyond language that was a attraction, and I could feel it, and I was hoping she felt it. But of course, you're very insecure in those situations, so you don't know. But I was happy when she said, "Yeah, let's go have dinner," because it's a little bit scary, really, because you don't know what the other person's thinking, especially when you can't speak the same language. But I was so happy when she said, "Yeah, let's have dinner together," because I thought she wouldn't be interested.
Okay, so basically, you basically at the first time there's not a lot to talk due to the language barrier, right? But you still feel like there has this connection between you and Sophia.
Exactly. Yeah,
Okay.
Exactly.
就是一开始因为有语言的问题，所以其实也没啥好聊的。但是呢，就是看对眼了，就是那个化学反应吧，就是看对眼了。所以就这个东西是完全不分国界的，对吧？就是看上了就是看上了哈，就是喜欢。所以这个东西就是真的是跨洋什么过海哈，来跟你相见哈，真的是这么一种感受哈。So I just mentioned that it doesn't matter if you have language barrier or not. And what matters is if there has chemistry between you and Sophia.
100%. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So because I mentioned this when we talked the other day, so do you think that what's the biggest disagreement between you and Sophia in everyday life?
And do you mean do we have difficulties?
Like difficult or challenges or disagreement?
The only challenge really is just language, and it's not too hard to overcome. You have to be patient, right? And and I'm not. It's for an American or I suppose anybody that's used to speaking their own language. If you have to, I find myself being very careful about what I say so she understands. But I don't mind doing that because it's kind of become a habit now because she's such a special woman. That's motivates me to make sure she understands what I want to say. That's all.
OK， 就是语言这儿可能就是最大的障碍，但是呢，因为他觉得冷雪是一个非常特别的女人，然后他特别的爱她，所以呢，他愿意去付出，也愿意去不厌其烦的去这样去解释啊，去说，让他明白，所以他觉得这已经是他的一个习惯了哈。所以这一点你可以看到，实际上就是美国的大多数的男人是真的是是非常顾家庭的。如果他认定了你的话，他会很愿意去付出的，不是我们 CCP 这个妖魔化了的什么美国男人什么花心呐，什么好多的什么外遇啊，什么这些那些的，什么长治小妹的家人说是有没有艾滋病啊哈，所以就是说完全是妖魔化，他们都是人哈。So I just mentioned that actually, because we're all people, right? So I wanted our Chinese audience to know that at the end of the day, you're dealing with a person. It doesn't matter if he's American or not. It just, we're human beings. We have emotions. We get along. So that's the key point here. So my next question is, you know that Leng Xue is a totally anti-CCP girl, right? And so what does that mean to you?
Well, I mean, I'm very sympathetic because, growing up in the U.S., at least in my background, and it's not true for everybody here, I have to say, because it's unfortunate there's a lot of people here in the U.S. that don't feel the same way I do. But my background has always been believing in the American ideal of freedom and individualism, as opposed to a government that's very strong and oppressive. And I'm a bit older than you are. In my time, it was the Russians that were the people that were very bad to look at. And but now the Russians are a very, very minor problem, and CCP now has taken over the role of the dominant government and take advantage of the people. So it's very anti-American, this whole philosophy of government control and not allowing people to be free and individual.
他说，实际上就说，我问他一个问题，我说，那你现在就是冷血，她是就是反共的啊，反共的一个女人哈，那你是这个对你来说意味着什么哈？他说，其实他对这个是很同情的，他认为实际上现在的最大的威胁其实就是中共，尤其是对于美国的这个威胁，美国的自由主义哈，美国的个人主义，那么其实中共是最大的威胁，已经不再是苏联了。那么这种威胁实际上就是真的是让他感受到了，就是 CCP 它实际上就是 anti-American 的，就是反美的，所以这一点的话呢，他实际上是很支持的。So, anything else? For this part.
As far as, sorry?
Okay, for this this whole question. So you mean, let me repeat that. So basically you feel like that, so CCP is actually doing everything to defeat the United States, to defeat the democracy and freedom and individualism.
Yeah, I mean, and not just the USA. I think that they do everything to defeat the people in their own country. It's terrible. I think how, from what I understand, people are afraid to be themselves or live their own lives and voice their own opinions, which we here in America take for granted. I mean, when I hear Sophia say that she asks me all the time, can you say Trump is a bad guy or Trump is a terrible guy? I say, yeah, of course you can, no problem. But if you say that in China against Xi Jinping, you might disappear. It's terrible.
对，这个姐夫刚才又提到一点，就是说实际上不光是说 CCP 的邪恶是针对美国人民的哈，然后更多的是对他自己的人民，所以说这里面就是说就是非常这个让中国人受到了一些伤害啊，包括 Sophia 经常会问他说你要在美国你说 Trump 是一个 bad guy 是一个坏蛋的话，那你会不会得到惩罚？那你当然不会了，对吧？但是说如果我们在中国说习近平是个 bad guy， 那很显然就很容易就消失了哈。所以说呢，这个他也认为现在呢他很支持冷血的，因为从对于 CCP 对于世界的危害，还有对于中国人的危害，其实都是应该退出历史舞台的哈。Okay, so my next question is, did you do anything? Did you do anything to spread the truth of CCP or its ideology or dictatorship?
I tell all my friends, what's going on, employees, friends, everybody. But I think a lot of, at least smart people, if I might say so, know how bad things are. It's what's unfortunate is a lot of people, they watch the wrong news and they don't understand what's going on in this country. And I don't know if your viewers are aware of this, but the media in this country is very, very difficult to navigate. Depending on who you listen to, you may or may not get the real truth. And So a lot of people don't understand how bad CCP is because there's some media outlets that I'm not going to say they're sympathetic to CCP, but they don't want to talk about that for various political reasons. And other media outlets, like Fox News, for instance, will tell you the truth, and they'll say, "Hey, this is what's going on, and this is why it's bad, and you need to pay attention and understand what's wrong." So, but to answer your question, yeah, sure, I tell everybody that I can, that you have to understand what the danger here is.
就是我问他你有没有做一些事情传播这个 CCP 的真相或怎么样？他说他就是所到之处哈，只要是他的朋友、他的员工，他都会去讲。但是呢，就是美国这个社会呢，你想啊，他这个各种媒体啊，所以很多人并不能接受这个他所传达给大家的这个一些观点或者一些信息，因为在美国很多的媒体呢，实际上是在维护中共的。那只有 Fox News 呢，算是一个相对来说说真话的、讲真实的这么一个媒体哈。所以说这也印证了我们哈，我们经常看到 Fox News 实际上非常非常就是真的是至少把真正的信息告诉大家，让大家去思考哈。那有的媒体的话，就是它纯属于引导性的，所以说制造消息和新闻 fake news 哈，这些很多。
对，其实
这样。
关于这个，刚好我给咱们这个国内的墙内的同胞们想说一下，刚好你说的这个 news 啊，其实墙内的同胞们，如果你们有这个印象，当你们住在这个一些算高级一点的酒店里，包括我自己原来，你们有没有发现？在你们在国内的时候，你住的高级酒店里面的时候，我们可以看到一些外国的台。你有没有发现，我们能看到的只是 CNN？
对的，
对吧？当我跟我这个男朋友说，我说我在中国的时候，实际上当然我不知道你们啊，我没有见过 Fox News 在中国的酒店里面，我是没有看到过哈。那我就跟他讲，他很 shock 的，他说哦，真的吗？我说我看到几乎都是 CNN。所以呢，到这儿以后我才知道 Fox News， 所以我就不用讲别的一些，我也不用去怀疑，这一点就已经完全可以证实了，中国政府它能允许的频道在中国播放，那你就可想而知这个 CNN 它的新闻的真假程度，因为它必须它发出来的声音是中国政府能接受的，那么中国政府能接受的声音，有脑子的人你就去想一想，他是配合谁？那 Fox News 为什么没有在中国的所有的酒店里？因为他的声音是真实的，所以真实的他中国政府是不能接受的。其实我跟我男朋友也谈这个问题，他说他很鼓励我这样的，他说很同意我这个观点，这就是一个非常简单的个回应，不用去评论谁到底说的真，谁到底说的假，是不是？我是这么认为的，你们
是这样的，就是说，你其实you know, if we were talking about the media, you know, I think you can tell from the host or the reporters' way of thinking or their way of expressing things. I just feel like no offense, but I really feel like people who work on Fox News are kind of intelligent. And like my favorite guy is Tucker, and I think he's very intelligent, logical, and common sense, right? Full of common sense. But for other people, I just feel like, are you an alien? It just the way they express things and the evidence they're choosing are totally the rational. Sometimes it's like irrational and emotional. They're trying to stir people's emotion instead of guiding people to think. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree 100%. And again, I don't know what your listeners are familiar with, but I would suggest to them that whatever they listen to, whether it's Fox News or CNN, which, by the way, CNN stands for Communist News Network, as far as I'm concerned.
他说 CNN 实际上就是中共媒体哈，就中共的这个报道，这个等于说是真的是亲共的。
对对。
But if you pay attention, on Fox News they ask questions and they listen to answers, but on CNN they don't ask questions; they just tell opinions, and that's not news. It's it's
Yes.
one opinion after another, not seeking truth or not analyzing points of view. It's just one point of view, much like the CCP.
Exactly, very great point. 这个姐夫刚才说呢，说如果你要跟 CNN 跟 Fox News 比的话，那 Fox News 的主持人是提出问题，让观众去思考的，就是给你思考的空间，然后呢，给了你问题，你思考之后，他会帮你去分析，他觉得这个事情应该是怎么样子的，所以这个就是启动了思考，然后呢，训练了这个观众的思维，这个是非常关键的就是启动思考，帮助引导大家去思考这件事情。而 CNN 就是给你观点，那给你的观点轮番给你，24小时换不同的人说同样的话，那是干嘛？洗脑啊！所以说 CNN 用的方式基本上是跟 CCP 的方式是一样的 ，CNN equals CCP， 就它是洗脑工具这么概念啊。I really agree with you, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so because we try to make our show not very long anymore. So I have like 2 or 3 more questions to ask. So
Sure.
Did your perspectives on the world change after you learned more information through GTV or through Sophia about what China really is, what CCP really is?
Yeah, sure. Fox News, I think, does a good job, but we don't get all the details. And I don't want to speculate why, but I've learned a lot beyond what you can get even from Fox News, which I think is a very good resource, through GTV and through Sophia and her relationship with you and all your group, 100%.
他说就是Fox News 虽然能给一些信息但是呢，就是他从 GTV 还有从 Sophia 这里，还有从咱们节目这里面获得了更多的一些具体细节的一些信息，他是觉得很有用的So before you got this channel, you got all different the new resources from GTV. What's your perspective on Chinese people?
Chinese people in general?
Yes.
Well, contrary to popular belief, I guess, I was always able to separate Chinese people from Chinese government. Again, being older and having been through a different time where the Russians were the bad actors in the world, I always knew Russian people were good, but the Russian government is bad. So I don't know if I'm the best person to ask. I think to me it's very easy to separate Chinese people from Chinese government, and I guess that's, if you want more information or more detail, that I can give it to you. But that's the bottom line.
Okay, so 他的这个，我觉得咱们姐夫是真的是在美国人里面是智慧的。是I said you're such a wise person， 就智慧的，就是说呢，他是在很早，他不是说遇到了冷血他就说冷血是个中国人是跟共产党不一样，跟这个政府不一样，他是有一个朴素的一种价值观的，或者说一种判断标准的，就是他说 Russia 的时候你看美国人总提就是提这个苏联为啥？就是因为就是这又来一遭了就这个概念。他说当时他也是能分清楚 Russian people 跟 Russia 的，那么现在呢，他同样的，他一直就会知道说人和这个政府是不一样的，所以他总能够分得清楚中国人和中国政府。所以这一点的话，我觉得咱们姐夫是非常厉害的实际上有相当一部分，我觉得绝大多数的美国人都是不清楚的这一点So, because I mentioned that you actually are really, really different, because I think the majority of Americans don't really know the difference. So they think CCP represent Chinese people.
I hope that's not true. And let me say this. If any of your listeners have problems with American people that think that because they're Chinese that they're the same as CCP, I will give you my real name and address, and I will come and take care of them.
OK， 他说如果真有这种人的话呢，我就把我的地址或者电话都就是这个联系方式给了他们哈，我就说给我来跟他们聊，就是我来跟他们讲这个的不同哈。So cause like for me, because our people are so far away. Because I think maybe in your life there are a lot of Chinese, right, around you, your clients or some customers. But for a lot of American people, they may not have any Chinese around them, and Chinese or China seems so far away. So I think that might be the reason they don't have enough knowledge about that. That might be.
But that's difficult because I don't know. All the Chinese people I've met have been fantastic people, and to me, it's very easy to understand what's going on. Yeah, because let's face it, the people you meet here in the U.S., they're not CCP. I mean, I hope they're not anyway. They're here because they want to get away from CCP. So I hope your listeners aren't walking around afraid to be Chinese, because if they just be themselves, I'm sure they'll be admired and adored as much as by everybody as much as I adore and admire the Chinese.
Got it. 所以他觉得呢，就是说，因为他周围见到的这些中国人哈，他看到的，他觉得，大家就是他没有什么太大的一个，就觉得只要是你是个人，你做自己的话，你做的是自己，然后都会受到大家的尊重。所以他没有觉得他所见到的中国人，他认为都是非常好的中国人，就是他没有，他觉得没有什么差别，在他看来啊。
对他说的中国人，我听到的最多的就是 smart, right? You always say
hardworking.
Yeah, hardworking,
smart, 对
and successful,
successful, sexy. 对，就是说，你看他讲的这些 sexy 啊，也比较性感哈，就是他讲的这些呢，实际上真的是我们中国人的品质，也就是 I have to say, the Chinese people you describe, we call them new Chinese, like new Chinese.
Like ABC?
No, it's not ABC. It's just a new image. A new image, like the people you saw represent the new Chinese, and the people you didn't see probably has a lot of so-called old Chinese, but you didn't get the chance to see them. That's how I think, because all the adjective you just used are actually describing new Chinese, like smart. Chinese people are smart, but hardworking. All this, like these are all the decent characteristics of actually Chinese people. But because we were controlled by CCP for so long, and we forgot, we actually lost ourselves in some way.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry to interrupt you. I'm sorry, but
yeah.
But the fact that, I mean, let's face it, the people I come in contact with are the people that made their way here, right? And so, to me, that's admirable in a very, very big way, that you come so far to leave what you're used to and what's familiar for any person. And so I'm lucky that I come in contact with people that are extraordinary, right? I certainly couldn't tell you what the average person in China is like, but I suspect that they're good people too. The people I come in contact with are the people that made it here and are extraordinary. I haven't left my country. I'm still in this country. I didn't go to another country, so I have a lot of respect for the people that came here and are making a life here and made decisions that are really very, very impressive as far as I'm concerned.
就是他讲的是实际上能够来到美国的，那么是希望过不一样的生活的，所以说呢，他们是花了很大的精力，很努力的，然后在美国去生活。所以他们是就刚才他提到了，就是说实际上他们是想挣脱 CCP 这种统治的，所以他们来到了美国。所以他们在他看来，这些中国人都是对他的印象是非常非常好的。就是刚才那些很努力啊，然后很勇敢这样。所以说呢，这个就是说他对于整体的一个印象。所以我们觉得还是要有信心的。其实就是从美国人嘴里你知道，是他们知道了我们主流的中国人实际上是什么样子的这个也是给我们很大的一个信心其实并不是说那些伪类的那种其实我觉得我们姐夫可能都根本就没有见到那些伪类的那伪类的都掏不起我们姐夫这个俱乐部的钱是不是？
他绝对不。其实我还挺想说，他对中国人真的是非常 nice， 尤其是在这个开始这个就是中国的一些反正中国政府对美国做的这些坏事吧包括这 coronavirus， 其实我觉得挺感动他做的一件事情，就是他帮助中国人这个事情让我很感动。Can I tell you something? You hire the Chinese people 2% 的
他雇了中国员工。
我跟你讲，Can I? So 其实就是他其实应该就是在去年的时候，那时候开始抓间谍嘛，不是中国出现了很多的这种留学生间谍，其实从前年就开始了，但是去年特别严重。这个川普在就是也是还有白宫发言会上都经常说嘛，那时候遍地，包括他妈自己都是这样认为，就是然后呢他
妈妈
其实他刚刚忽略了一点，其实美国人有的时候还是会这样想，因为这个新闻媒体的一个引导嘛，
是的，
那么大家这种怕的情绪也是有的，你知道吗？那不可能没有，他会怀疑嘛。那么尤其他们这种公司就是招人，结果我记得是，其实我都不认识这个人，也是一个朋友的朋友的朋友。然后他们的这个孩子在中国，你知道他下了1000有700-800个 offer， 就是那种毕业以后找工作嘛，都想留下来嘛都是 master 呢，找不到，然后他签证还有几天就过期了，然后也是通过了几轮这样找到我根本就不认识，然后我当时也很同情，你知道吧？因为他父母其实都是中国的很有名的保险公司的，但是他们都知道 CCP 不好嘛，就是都是不想让孩子再回去了嘛，然后就找到我，然后就说看，因为我男朋友的公司他可以那个什么嘛可以招员工嘛，然后就。因为其实他从来没有过 never right you never have hired Chinese right never before 赵达 and Charles right
no
yeah 然后呢我就跟他讲了这个事情，他毫不犹豫的就答应了。我说他很想那个什么我说你能不能帮他，他说可以然后I remember your mother 他妈妈就说 your mother say Do you think he's the spy? 他是不是间谍？
你看，这就是通常的美国人的想法，明白吧？因为他媒体总在说间谍这件事儿，老太太就魔怔了。老太太家里不干别的事儿吗？看电视啥的，被洗脑了。
挺生气的 ，and you are very angry. No， 他说妈妈你不可以这样的去想的就他马上纠正他妈妈说你不能去这样想，不能去说。所有的中国人都是这样留学生然后他妈妈就说了一句这句话，我就觉得特别的搞笑。他还是把那个男孩给就是下了offer
雇了，
对，棒。但是其实后来这个男孩走是他自己，哎呀，我觉得所以我就跟你们说，我为什么说我有时候就挺痛恨这个90后呀，就是傻呀，你知道他们自己回去，他就觉得，当然了，他现在都认为红旗飘飘呀，回中国呀，大好前程你知道吗？他当然了，
现在歇菜了，
会歇菜了，估计反正在北京呢他自己回去了后来，因为他认为回去可能更难嘛，然后又发生了一个事情，在这个 coronavirus 很多人都失去工作了，没有工作了，就在这种情况下， 他也是有一个人，就是一个中国人，但是这个人是已经在美国待了，反正年龄也挺大，40-50岁吧，然后也不好找工作，然后呢又是他在这个期间，然后呢这个人已经有失业半年了，然后他就把他给 hire 了 Charles 来，然后那个男的就特别的感动，其实我也是不太熟悉，我就特别同情咱们中国人，然后他就把他给招来了。然后我觉得这个事情就是他完全不用招中国人，但是他很同情，你知道吧？他觉得不能这种歧视，你知道吧？他就招这2个中国人，从来就没有，他的全是老美，就招了这2个。我为这个事情我特别感动，你知道吧 ？I'm thank you, Thai Chinese 。他说中国人很好呀，他说我觉得我很 lucky 啊，他说他们 good work，的确是，他觉得很勤奋，比美国人强多了。
真的是这样，
真的这样的，
语言没有问题的话，真的是中国人是最好用的，确实是，
对呀，
任劳任怨的，
对，他说他 a lot of Chinese come your company， 他说，然后他说
就是说很多中国人都愿意都知道这事儿了，就来投简历吗？
可能不是，他其实他的公司是很专业型的，你也知道的啊，就说只能一点点的，就是那种，因为他是很专业型的，就是说呀，他恨不得都是中国人，但是他的，
明白，
他觉得中国人很好，因为有的那个他的那个你也都知道的哈，都是一些非常专业性的，就是有中国人在这个方面是有些是不行的，你知道吧
？Just I hope you tell your listeners I hope this is good because I understand no words of what you're saying. So,
okay.
So,
yeah.
Tell them I hope this is all good.
他说希望 Sophia 说的是关于他的好的地方，因为他根本听不懂你们在说什么，我们在说什么。说希望他说的是你的他的好的地方哈。他开个玩笑，我觉得哈。对，就是 So we're talking about how you take care of some Chinese and you hire them during their difficult time.
Do you think Charles?
He's fantastic. I mean,
how you think Charles good working?
He's hardworking and loyal and I know the kind of person he is. Even it takes me 2 seconds to see a good person and a bad person, no matter where they come from, and 100% good. And you can tell that he's a genuine person, which is it's very, very impressive.
他就讲说，就查尔斯就他雇的那个年龄大的那个哈，就是说是非常就特别努力的，而且特别忠诚的，真实的这么一个人哈。他说你像他说那跟郭先生是一样的，就是见人见多了哈，见人见多了之后是2秒钟就能看出来这个人真心是什么样子的，就不需要说语言呀什么来自于哪个国家啊，跟那些都没有关系。就一看就知道你这个人怎么样哈，所以他觉得他雇这些中国人也是因为就是他认为他看得出来他们是非常好的人。
This is a guy that when he wanted to come work, we talked about what the salary was for the job, and he said no, that's too much. You can't pay me so much, and so I had to trick him a little bit. I said, okay, I won't pay you so much. But then when I write his check, I just put more hours in his paycheck because he deserves at least as much money as that I'm paying him. So he's just a good guy.
Wow， 就是咱们这个中国人哈，查尔斯，然后就是说给谈工资的时候哈，然后咱们姐夫说呢多少钱，然后呢查尔斯就说不太多了，这个太多了。他觉得给他的那个钱那么多，然后于是呢，咱们姐夫呢就玩了个小花招哈，就是给他那个账单的，就是给他那个 check 的时候呢，支票的时候呢，他就故意的多加了一些小时数嘛，这样就是就显得那个就是他也其实查尔斯可能也不知道自己干了多少小时或者怎么样，就多加了一些小时数，这样钱还是一样的给他的。所以你看，就是善良的美国人，他就是这样。
Yeah.
He always asked me, I didn't work that many hours, but I said, oh, no, you did. It's because I must give him more because I must pay him.
Yes， 然后查尔斯就说我没有工作那么多小时啊，然后他说你工作了呀，你工作那么多小时啊，你不知道吗？就是说这个真的是所以我们希望就从普普通通的美国人，咱们展示给大家看。尤其是我们墙内的这个 或者是我们在座的很多人也是受毒太深的，我们从小就觉得美国人这个都不怎么样，什么资本主义社会，什么帝国主义，那个一个个的都什么特别的傲慢或怎么样。但是实际上我们也知道是美国人帮了我们，对吧？才让整个的中国经济得到了发展。然后你看，就是一个普普通通的美国人，他的这种最基本的道德、最基本的接人待物的这种方式，就是一个尊重人所以我就希望咱们能够通过这个现身说法，让咱们姐夫呢，能让咱们的想法有一点点的改观哈。So I just mentioned that, you know, when I was young, I was totally brainwashed, and we believe that American people, you know, they're arrogant, and they invaded us many years ago, and so that's the brainwash process. So made us believe that you guys are actually not good people. But today, the reason I really invite you and other Americans is to show Chinese audience, Chinese people, that this is a real Americans, and they're just common people, but they respect us, and they are showing the humanity side of who they are. So that's what I want to do. That's basically one of the goals that I started to do some English interviews.
Oh, well, that's very nice, and I'm glad you're doing this. You know, for what it's worth, of course, not everybody in every country is a good person, but I think,
Sure, yeah.
I think what I hope anyway that people will understand about the USA is that the people that really make up the USA, the people that have been here for a long time, not the people that have different agendas or come from different places, but the real people in this country are good people because they're grounded in religion and morals and respect and love for other people. And it's not cliche, it's really true. But there's bad people for sure here, and with this kind of government, you can't discriminate against them. They're going to be here no matter what. But hopefully, the good people will be the most understood and most followed, I guess, and that will be the direction of the country. So, I hope.
Okay. Yes. I think that's really profound point. 就他刚才讲的这个是非常我觉得深刻的，就是哪个国家都有坏人，这是肯定的，对吧？有人就有江湖。但是说呢，美国这个国家是建立在，就是说最初的建立在的这种信仰宗教的基础之上的。所以他的意思就是说，从一开始在这个土地上的人和秉承着这个尊重人，然后有信仰的，那么就是一直还在。那么当然有一些从其他地方来的呀，或者是有一些有各种各样的想法的，或者有一些政治倾向的，那么他们都是存在的。但是他希望就是等于说是我们经常说的正义战胜邪恶这样的哈。那美国能够继续的是尊重人的一个国家，然后是就是真正是有信仰的这么一个国家。他相信一直会是这样的。然后就是我刚才讲到他是这样的，就是普通的美国人实际上是他这个样子的哈。所以说呢，他讲到了这么一个部分哈。Yeah, I totally agree with you, and I also believe because you know, during this whole whistleblower movement, I felt like that. So it's not the conflict between ideas. It has become the you know, a war between good and evil. So I think we're all in the process of the history, like during you know, we're actually in the history. We are standing on the side of you know, I only can represent myself. I believe I am standing on the right side, doing the right thing. So I also believe there are a lot of people who are like us. So we're going to guarantee this country or the world going to the right direction.
And I'm 100% behind you because, and I'm very happy to hear you say that. It's nice to have confirmation that there's other people out there that that believe the same way. And what's wonderful about that is, in the past, it's only been people that look like me and people that came from where my people come from, England or Europe. And now we have people from all parts of the world that believe the same thing, which is very, very satisfying. That this idea, this concept of what makes a good government is actually valid, right? Because now you've proven it across many different cultures and backgrounds that people say, okay, yeah, this is the right way to go, because we all see the other the alternatives are not good.
True. I think what you mentioned is a core value we have, no matter where we come from. We have this core value that can, unite us to do the right thing.
Yes.
我翻译一下，就是他讲的说，其实就是他很高兴，就是我能这样讲，就是我们有跟他是志同道合的，然后都是来自于不同国家的，但是呢，大家都是本着一个就是做正义善良的事情。所以我刚才也讲到一点，我认为这就是我们的 core value 核心价值观就是无论是我们来自于哪一个国家，我们都秉承着一个同样的核心价值观，就是寻求正义哈。就郭先生说的正道主义，所以这个他也相信这个国家会越来越好哈。Okay, so let's talk about future. So my last question is, what's your expectation for the next 5 years or even the next 10 years? Like your expectation regarding your personal life or the situation in the world.
My personal life and the expectation for the rest of the world?
Yes.
Two very different answers, right? Can I answer them separately? Okay.
Oh, yes, sure. Like for next 5 years, right? Next 5 years, yeah.
So you want to know my personal expectations in my relationship with young Sophia in the next 5 years?
That's your choice. I didn't say that. As a personal life can be anything, right? 他说你说让我谈未来5年的个人，那这个人是说你想让我谈谈我跟 Sophia 的未来吧？我说的是 personal 个人的，那你自己选喽。Yeah, sure. Let's talk about that.
Okay. Well, I think more in terms of the next 50 years with young Sophia, not 5 years.
Oh, so, 50 years. Oh my goodness. Okay.
Yeah,
how about the rest of life?
I won't make 50 years, but maybe she will.
Okay. 他说我想未来不谈5年，我想谈未来15年的哈。50. You mean 50 or 15? 50. 哦，50年的。哇塞，结婚。OK， 50年的。他说我想跟他聊未来50年的哈。哇塞，你看这美国人。
Yeah, no, I'm very happy and I think we'll be together forever. That's all.
Okay. Wow.
As far as anything else goes, I hope we can win the fight against the people that try to make us more like CCP or like Venezuela or like any other, North Korea, which is very, very strong in this country. It's very, very sad, but it's true. There's people that aren't concerned about the success of the people or the country, but are more concerned about their own personal gain short term. And so there's this constant battle between people that want to see the country prosper for their children and their children's children, and the people that want to just use the country to benefit themselves right now. And I think that's the big difference between this election is going to be very pivotal if it goes one way for the Republicans. I think we have a good chance of continuing this great experiment. If it goes the other way, I'm afraid, frankly, that what we've built up over the last 200 and some years is might come to an end, unfortunately.
Oh my goodness！ 所以他讲到这个未来5年嘛，我跟他问的这个问题，他说，首先从 Sophia 这个人来说的话，他希望跟 Sophia 能够度过未来的50年哈，就是一辈子在一起哈，因为他觉得很满足啊。然后另外他讲的就是对于世界他的看法来说呢，他真的是希望哈这个以 CCP 为代表的，比方就是等于说是 CCP 的这种共产主义，还有这个 dictatorship， 就是这种独裁主义哈，能够消亡，因为他认为这个东西也在渐渐的影响着美国。然后美国的话也是处在现在一个转折点的时期，那么很多的这个有一些人是希望去发展这个国家，是为了未来的自己的子子孙孙的。但是有一些人是希望短时间产生效率的，也就是这种短视的。其实我觉得他就在讲华尔街啊，讲的是这个 Democratic， 就是这种民主党哈这些人。所以他说这次的选举的话是一个很重要的，就是如果真的我们选出了 Republican 的哈，就是共和党的话，那么美国还是有救的，不然的话有可能这200年的基业就毁了。所以他的是这样一个看法哈。然后我也知道咱们姐夫是一个 Trump supporter。是他特别希望这次这个 Trump 能赢的哈。我跟你讲，在美国智慧的人都是 Trump supporter， 真的是这样的哈，智慧的人哈。Yeah, because I mentioned that people, intelligent people, or wise people are Trump supporters. So you're one of it. You're one of them.
I mean, it's well, I don't know how much you want to talk about this, but it's frankly a joke that anybody that could take someone like Biden seriously as a leader of anything. If you just listen to him talk, it's clearly he's supported by people that have a different agenda than what's best for this country.
对，他说 Biden 就是你很难想象，居然有人还听他的哈，就是你听他那说话的话，绝对就是要把美国带沟里的，有其他的想法的，而且 Biden 的这个身体实在是太有问题了哈，大家有没有发现啊？就是他是真的身体太有问题了，所以这个是居然有人还会去选 Biden 哈，这个是已经觉得很跌眼镜的事情了哈。Okay, so do you have any question to ask me or ask our audience?
You actually want to recommend the Chinese?
Yeah,
you can say whatever you want.
I know.
他不说我敢不敢说？我说你可以说呀。
Yes. Oh, yes.
Can.
2 things.
Okay.
One is my idea, and one is Sophia suggests I say as well. So I'll give you both. Okay.
Sure.
Number one, I just want to say, and by the way, it's difficult for me because I have no idea who this audience is, right? From my understanding is that these are Chinese people in the U.S., and I assume they're both male and female. So clearly, it's difficult to talk, in some respects, to both sexes, because people receive what they hear in different ways. But I hope that anything I say is taken respectfully by both male and female people. Okay, and I just want to say that I really think that what you're doing is fantastic in terms of trying to make changes and improve things in your own country. But whether you know it or not, you're making things better in this country too. And so I'm 100% behind you in this fight, I'll call it, against things that are not good. And if you want me to pause, by the way, to translate, just tell me.
OK， 他就想跟咱们中国的观众说，他说不知道咱们在座的是不是都是在美国的，还有没有其他的，或者说不管你是男的还是女的，他觉得我们做的这个事情呢，就是是非常值得尊重的，然后并且就是我们做的事情不仅对我们的种族，还有对美国也是有很积极的影响的。Yes.
And I guess I'd also like to say that not just because I'm dating a wonderful Chinese woman, but even if I weren't, I just think it's a fantastic culture and fantastic people, and I have a lot of respect for everything about the Chinese culture, which, if you want to read between the lines, means I don't have respect for a lot of other cultures in this country that are not good, that we have to deal with.
好，他说就是不是因为他在跟一个中国女人约会，所以他要说他很尊敬中国人，他很喜欢中国人这个种族，就是这是真的。他说，在这个美国这个国家里面，比较起来其他的种族，他真的是喜欢中国人的。就是他说，就这么个概念哈，就是说其他的来自于其他国家的人，他觉得他是对中国人很尊重的，是这样的。
And you know, just as a small aside, what drives me crazy when I hear that you know, things like college admissions don't admit people that are qualified, and generally it's a lot of Chinese people in favor of people that are not qualified just because they think there's a need to have what they call diversity. Makes me crazy, and I just I want your listeners to know that I, for one, think that's terrible.
Okay, 他其实讲you're talking about affirmative action, right? Like regarding college application, yeah.
But affirmative action is a joke because if you why aren't you know, we could say Chinese people are a minority too, right? But they should be, but they're denied what they rightfully earn because the people that can't make the same successes or have to be catered to. You know, it's terrible.
我翻译一下这个部分，就是这个姐夫站刚才讲了一点哈，就是非常关键的，他其实挺同情中国人的哈，就是说关于大学申请这个部分哈，实际上就是我觉得这真的是真正的这个精英中国人想法哈，他就美国人想法，就是他认为呢，就是进大学就要去评价这个学生他是否是品质够了。成绩也好，各方面也好，是不是够了资格，而不是说为了保证这个大学的每个种族的这个招生的这个比例上是一个平均的，所以他觉得他非常不赞成那一点，他觉得就是应该是按照能力去决定这个人能不能进大学的，所以这一点上就是中国人和亚洲人很吃亏，因为亚洲人都很优秀嘛，但是呢，比例上面呢就不可能说你都优秀你都进哈，他有一个比，他要照顾到其他种族的这个人。
这点。
So is it because is it because Sophia? Yeah, 你说 Sophia。
对，我就说这个，他的确说了好多次，他觉得特别为咱们这个中国人。就说，因为他看到好多中国人都是 work too hard 嘛，他说你 work too hard， 你凭什么就不能让他？他觉得这个特别不公平。
这个在美国也是一个争议的哈，有很多的这个组织，他都去那个告嘛，包括之前告哈佛啊，告什么，所以这个就是确实是一个这样一个很大的问题。然后但是这个大学院他有他自己的观点哈，他认为这个要尽可能照顾到各个种族的呀什么的哈，所以这个就是黑人呐，还有这个他们成绩如果很低的话呢，有可能会跟咱们特别努力的学习的这个亚洲人享有同样的入学的资格的哈，所以这一点实际上是非常不公平的对一个学生来说。但是这姐夫呢就有这个正义哈，就对这事儿就看得不顺眼哈，就非常总是这个替咱们这个中国人这个鸣不平哈，在这个事情上面。
There's this twisted idea that you have to allow everybody to be given the same opportunity, but this country's based from its beginning on the strongest and best are the ones that make the country strong and best. And this idea of like denying the best, like when it comes to the Chinese, for instance, you know, scoring better on tests or working harder and earning places with tests or whatever to school, and then saying, no, you can't come because we must give this many places to people that are of a different background. And obviously I'm talking about Black. You can translate it if you want to or not. But it's ridiculous. They shouldn't be given a place if they don't earn it. And this country is all about earning your way, not by being given
a certain race or grew up in a certain community.
Right. So, I mean, I'll go on record as saying that I'm 100% against that. And you can tell them your audience if you want or not, or if it's not appropriate, it's fine.
OK， 就是说呢，这讲到说我就讲到一点非常重要哈。他说，美国这个国家是建立在你谁优秀，然后你就做出最大贡献的，所以这个国家是优秀的人建立起来的。而这个选大学就是入大学这个事情也是一样的，就是说你优秀你进大学，你进了之后呢，你就有能力呢去完成学业，并且有能力把美国建设得更好。它是基于这样一个观点呢，去来评价说为什么你不够格，你资格不够格，对吧？然后你就不应该被选上，不是因为你这个大学需要去某一个群体需要多少个比例，对吧？所以他觉得这点是他非常不认同的。所以就是这么一个概念哈。I totally agree with you. Did Sophia mention that I actually college counseling is my profession, was my profession. So I know, I know exactly what you're talking about. And I was in a group of the Ivy League counselors, and you know those like deans of Harvard, and we have a meeting every year. So basically this is a big issue and we talk about, and then they actually not affirmative action, but they that they always have this argument saying when people from different backgrounds, students from different backgrounds can learn from each other. And they always say that, like if you say from the same background, like say your family income is the same and from the same community, and you cannot learn as much as you have classmates that from a low income community or from different different backgrounds. That's their point. 我说哈，就是说 yeah.
My response to that is it's kind of like going to the zoo. If you want to see how the monkeys live or how the lions live, that's fine. But when it comes to education and achievement, you have to take the best of the whole population. You can't. I disagree with the fact that it's going to make the community, the education environment better by introducing people that aren't able to compete. What that really does is it brings down the level of the whole community, not makes it stronger. So.
OK， 就是我说那个这些 dean 哈，大学的 dean 他们争论的一个话题是什么？就是关于说，那大家来自不同的背景的话，可以互相的学习。然后姐夫说什么？姐夫说你这又不是逛动物园，对吧？那你去看猴子啊，你还是看大象啊，什么你还是看狮子，无所谓，对吧？但是呢，你这个是一个教育，那教育的话呢，如果说你进这个大学里头进的人都应该是就是同等水平的，对吧？如果是说你很低的水平人，你就把整个的教育就拉下来了，大家不能够达到最优的状态啊，那就未来的话，他培养精英，他没有办法培养精英，所以我觉得这个姐夫说的这个观点是非常到位的哈。So I totally agree with you, and I think I think. Say that again.
You're a special person.
Oh, thank you. I really actually this is a really high compliment for me because I am always trying to be special instead of being the best. Yeah, like always want to be a special one, right? So I think that will that's who I am. That's also our slogan for GTalk. We want to be unique.
Good.
Yeah, we don't want to be the best. Yes, thank you. So for for today, and I think you really show that you care about Sophia. I think that's personally for me. I really like that. I really want to know that if Sophia is taken good care of, and definitely he is, and also we really admire your points of regarding CCP, and also how you see the world, how you see the American society. So the last, do you have anything to say at the end?
Like
Summary or anything.
Yeah, I could say lots of things, but Sophia wants me to say one thing in particular.
Yeah.
And okay. I hope this...
Not I want it. You say that. I say I agree.
Okay.
Yeah, you say.
Okay.
This is why we get along so well.
Yeah. Sure.
Again.
Yeah, don't worry.
All right, I'm just going to say, I think your listeners who are all Americans, or at least live in America, if they have the ability, if they're allowed to exercise their Second Amendment, I recommend that they all go out and get themselves a firearm, because that's one thing that is very different about this country from other countries. Mm-hmm. We can defend ourselves if there's a problem, and we need to, and that's our whole history is based on that, and that's what makes us different from Nazi Germany, from communist China, is that we're not helpless. So I recommend that you get yourself a firearms license and go buy a gun.
这个姐夫，我说你最后还有什么给我们的忠告吗？有什么样的姐夫这太给力了哈！说大家如果在美国一定要去履行第二修正案哈，就一定要去买枪，就是在美国你是有持枪合法化的，所以一定要去保护自己，因为这个跟在中国是不一样的，所以你有这个权利，所以每个人要去买枪哈，赶紧去学那个枪证，然后去买枪，这太好了哈 ！Very great suggestion. You have never. It's beyond my expectation. I think that's a really, really great suggestion.
And if we lose the election in November, you may not get the chance. So you better do it soon. You better do it soon.
No, never. I
他说，如果这次 Trump 如果没有当选的话 ，You mean like if Trump lost the election?
They may make it. They may not allow you to buy a gun, so buy it now.
Oh, okay.
True. Very true.
他说，如果 Trump 不能当选，可能就没机会再买枪了。说赶紧去买枪哈，因为可能他们就要修正这个第二修正案了啊，所以还要拿起武器啊。So one of them audience saying, well, if we have the gun, we can fight for that. So everybody should go and buy a gun.
100%. Go get it.
Yeah. Okay.
It's more difficult. It's more difficult to take your gun away than it is to get one after it's not legal. So get it now.
Okay. Yes. 所以你现在有的话，它很难从你手里再拿走，对吧？然后别到时候人家不让你买枪了，你去非法买枪去啊，那更难一点哈。Very great point. Very great point. Okay. 冷雪 ，Do you have anything to say? 最后你有什么要说的，冷雪？
我呀。没有什么，你
觉得
问如果有什么问题可以问我。刚刚看到很多有人。
OK，
你说，
你觉得今天姐夫的表现怎么样？
我觉得好像今天，我觉得你没有发现吗？他是属于咱们这是跟观众说真的是大实话，反而你那天让他预备，你没有发现吗？他很不佳。他不喜欢，就是他很真。他说我不想预备，你看到没？那天是不是感觉今天没有做任何准备？我的感觉好像还蛮好的，你觉得呢？
对，我觉得可以的。对，我觉得他就是今天表现的各方面都很好，又说出了自己想说的话了嘛。对，
对，他就是不要，我就说他说我不需要任何准备，他就是想说什么就说什么，他就对，我觉得今天很放。说的挺好，
放松的哈。对，所以今天我这儿也没做准备嘛哈，就是我们就是随机就来了，随机来看看到底是就是走到哪说到哪了哈。就是今天节目很给力，而且大家都能够感受到哈，这个是一个就是我这么说最后一点吧，这是美国人哈，他真的就是 他就是说他年轻的时候小的时候什么上大学各种玩什么的哈，那小孩儿都玩嘛，对吧？但是他真的是结婚啊顾家的，他就是顾家的，他就是不是我们 CCP 宣传之下那个美国人，他就是什么哎呀一辈子就是各种乱睡啊，各种什么怎么样的哈，就所有那些恶心的事儿哈都发生在他们身上，不是这样的，就都是多数顾家庭的 family oriented。
对，和我觉得有一点相反，就反而相反。其实他们说美国人这个谈男女朋友啊，就是年轻的时候，你没有发现吗？你看他们从上高中的时候就开始啊，而且双方家长还互相见面的。但是呢，他们这样的，其实我觉得这个好，我们反而不让，我们那个年代哪有呀？我的妈呀，我连高中都没谈过恋爱，都不敢喜欢，对吧？都不允许。所以呢，他们是很鼓励，但是他们一旦结婚了，甚至不要说结婚，就像这种一旦就是对外人说这是我的男朋友，这是我女朋友，一旦固定了这种关系啊，那结婚就更不要说了，绝对是忠诚的。可以，我不能说100%，但是可以说这是一种
绝对不是100%，对，绝大多数吧，就是主流吧，主流价值观对家庭的这个认知，主流就是这样的。对，回家之后不干别的，就下班就赶紧回来。
对，不管你什么党派，这个和那没关系，这是他的一个主流的一个教育，就是一个忠诚，就是一个家庭观念。他们的家庭观念非常的强，非常，而且他们的生活非常单一，我觉得啊，那绝对不和中国一样，很多那些他非常单一。一个是跟你的妻子、你的家人，一个就是跟周围的2-3个朋友，然后一块去餐厅里面吃个饭，然后呢或者看个音乐会，就这么简单。然后每天下班都回家，每天啊，他们永远出门带的绝对不是说，当然这不是他们的文化，什么情人女就那种什么的，他们永远出去的啊，就是带着老婆，就是到任何场合是带老婆，不像我前夫那样永远不带老婆，是带情人，因为带老婆的话拿不出去。我跟他讲，他觉得要是这样的话，在美国这种的啊，就说有没有情人，他说当然也有的，那些就任何国家他都有情人，但是绝对不会把情人你带到场面上这样的。他说那这样的话人家都会鄙视你的，他自己也不敢，因为人家会觉得这是一种非常不好的行为，人家会笑话。那在中国我说不是，那绝对是牛，你知道吗？你没情人都很丢脸的。我说的是
这就完全相反的。
对，我说的是成功的商人啊，那种的绝对不可能带。
你看咱们 C27说有信仰的人就是忠诚嘛，对吧？这都有信仰的，就是脑子有根弦的，对吧？有个东西约束着的，就知道做什么事情是这个是有道德的，什么事情是就真的是自己都瞧不起自己的这种哈。
对，我觉得还有一个特别有意思的，就是他们这种文化上的这种差异。中国人不是叫谦卑和不好意思吗？啊，我觉得他这点特别有意思，就是因为他在这边，反正很多人都知道他们。然后然后有些这个他有一些中国的客户嘛，然后他就说，哎，你有没有跟他们讲？就是因为我从来不愿意跟人家讲他是我男朋友，我从来没有讲过，没有人知道。结果因为我这种观念，我想你们就应该知道，就是我们中国人是第一个，我为什么要去主动给别人说？哦，我的男朋友是这儿的 owner， 或者我觉得这中国人每个中国人都不可能这样的，因为就算你心里这样想，觉得中国人叫什么，你有什么好炫耀的吗？就是我们中国人的概念是不说，对，谦虚，对他当时我跟他说我没有说的时候，他还生气，他说你觉得你说会丢人吗？哎，我说不会啊，他觉得
他的想法是那个，他觉得你瞧不起我们，我不重要，或者你不想让别人知道吗？
对。他认为什么？我说这是一种炫耀。他说那他认为这是一种，他说那很骄傲呀。他说你就是应该去说，这就是他们小的时候教育，就说我们觉得什么事情，比如说你拿了个比赛得个奖，咱觉得不好意思说。他说这个就要说呀，就叫显摆吧。他们觉得这个又不是干嘛，就是要显摆啊。我觉得他这个思想观念跟我们真的是不一样。对他们，
他实际上是什么？他不是说为了炫耀或者怎么样，而是说他就觉得这个
你的男朋友
这是事实啊。
对，这
个
他是想
这个事实啊。
对，
就是我们是假虚伪的。
哎，对对对，他不是说想表现的说啊，你男朋友多成功或者他不是这个意思，他是想说的是嘛，你找了一个不差的男朋友，他是想说你不是找了一个糟糕的，因为他认为他也挺成功或者做事做的也好，他是想说你的男朋友是值得炫耀的，而不是另外一层那个意思。你看他是这个意思，我说哦，他还不高兴，我说不说，我觉得这个观念
说嘛。对，我觉得
我
是这样的，就是说你首先不提人家，人家就觉得说为啥你不提我？你没把我当成男朋友吗？对吧？
对对
你不提我，对吧？然后另外的话就是你凭什么不提我？我很差吗？这是正常人的思维，是不是？正常人就是哎，你在这儿，你把那个朋友领过来了之后，那你不介绍一下说我男朋友在这儿工作吗？至少的，对吧？你啥也不说，人家就会觉得你为什么呀？你是不是还有别的男朋友啊？对吧？不好意思在这儿说。然后我们
奇怪，是不一样。
是的，像我们中国人就是你虚伪什么呀？你本来就得了这个奖了，你就大大方方说出来嘛，对吧？得了奖了，什么怎么着也还掖着藏着不敢说的，对吧？就是这种就是自信就没有自信也是这样的，你好你也不敢说，你不好了你更不敢说，所以对吧？
还有一个他们这个炫的和我们有一点不一样，比如说他们成功的商人嘛。像我觉得，因为跟我前夫那个圈子里面，因为都是有钱人，我觉得他们就是有一种那种，反正说白了就是炫那种钱的这种感觉吧，这种炫。我觉得他们这种也是炫，但他们炫绝对不是那种很明白的钱。你知道他炫的那种，我觉得呀，真的我还觉得挺崇敬的。他们是说我有多少个 employee， 他觉得很骄傲，骄傲的是什么？他给很多人解决的工作，他是拿这个来炫傲。我觉得这个真的，他就说我有多少个 input， 我为多少个人解决工作了，他觉得这是他炫耀的，所以我觉得也是跟我们的点不太一样。
哎呀，也有美国人是炫耀表面的，也有，
真的，哎，我觉得
对吧？
我觉得
也有炫车炫什么的，但是他的对他确实是比较那个的，他确实是，是的，
很高兴
这种
人解决了工作，他总是觉得这个他很值得骄傲，
就帮别人解决的工作，他解决多少劳动就业嘛，哈，这个就是利他嘛，利他的这种想法的人嘛，对吧？
对，
确实是哈。所以我们今天鉴定过了啊 ，Sophia， 你的男朋友不错啊，可以的，可以继续哈。我们今天
They say you good person.
Thank you.
So we verified today.
Okay, good. If I don't know if it's possible, but if any of your listeners want to ask a question, I hope they'll send them to you and you can send them to me and then I'll respond.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I saw the young people ask you, how can you give the young Chinese people in the future like something this question? 我刚刚看到有一个人写了个英语，他说对年轻人的未来给一些建议。
Some suggestion for like young people.
The future, can you give recommend?
Yeah, there's one question. Yeah. So I found this it's NFSC boy asking you that what the young Chinese people should do in the future. What like young people should do? How about like what's your suggestion for young people?
Well, keep being strong and keep doing your best, because I hope again what this country's based on is personal perseverance, and you'll be rewarded for your effort if the country continues the way it should. So it's not a very good answer, frankly. I guess I would say, what can you do? Just keep working hard, and hopefully at the end of the day, good will win out, and we'll all be better off for it. I'd be happy to discuss a specific. It's kind of difficult to give a general answer to that question, I guess.
Yeah. 就是他觉得这个现在很困难，去给一个就特别宽泛的一个，只能给一个特别宽泛的一个答案哈，就是真的是要 make efforts， 就是你去要去努力，然后为了你的目标去奋斗啊，就是说 而且就如果这个国家是继续这么走下去的话，不会走到另外一个方向的话哈，那么每个人就是努力的话，就一定在这个国家就能够生活的很好哈。所以我觉得这点也是，就是你在 CCP 统治之下，那个体制那样的，你再怎么着，还有那么多年轻人饿着哈，吃不着饭哈。So I think, even though you think it's a very general idea or general suggestion, but I think it's very beneficial for Chinese people. And but it shows us that in this country, in the United States, and as long as you work hard, you make efforts, you will get what you want. If the country goes the right way, right? But in China, it's a different story.
Yeah, I think right. You're absolutely right. And I think if you're strong and be confident and don't be shy, don't second guess or be worried about who you are or what you're doing. Be confident and go forward and you'll be successful. That's the beauty of this country, I think.
他说这个国家的美就在于，只要你自信，你相信自己，你别老是犹豫哈 ，second guess 就犹豫，这个做还是不做呀？这样，只要你相信自己，你按照你的方向去做，你就能够在这个社会立足哈。这就是美国它美丽的地方，这个美的地方哈。Yes, I agree.
Yeah, there's many people like me that will support you 100%. Don't worry.
他说就是像美国，像他这样的美国人会支持你的。就支持年轻人的发展，就像他所做，对吧？他雇佣年轻的中国人，在他这个机构里面工作哈。所以说呢，就是他相信你能坚定哈。其实你看，这就是美国人简单单纯的地方和他们认为的成功的秘诀。因为这个体制是好的，所以你就跟他讲说，他跟你讲说，你只要是自信，你只要努力，你就可以成功。那在中国的话，咱们就觉得是忽悠你，忽悠，对吧？为什么那个体制它不让你过正常人的生活呀？Yes,
对，诚恳就行了，真的不用忽悠。他们美国人是不傻的，他能看出来，那个来工作的那个人可老实了，但是他可喜欢了。他们能看出来，咱们都认为人家美国人傻，不是傻，人家不吭气儿，不吭气儿不代表傻。人家都知道咋回事儿，然后真的很多美国人对中国人真的很好，绝对不用去担心今后会有影响。我觉得有一些吧，但是我觉得真正他们的根本还是很善良的。他们知道 CCP 不好。How do you think CCP? CCP.
How do I think?
Yeah, I think died quicker, right?
他已经说了今天。
Okay. When I was a kid, I predicted that the Soviet Union would fall because it made no sense that it. So no, I hope the same for CCP.
No, of course it's bad. I just want to know how you think. How long? I think for the few weeks it will be died.
Okay.
I hope
他想问多久哈
？Yeah, but again, this election is very important. Without this election going the right way, there's not going to be any pressure on CCP if it goes.
对，他说的是
Democrat. They're going to be very. They're just going to. It's just like if you know your history, Neville Chamberlain with the Nazis. They're going to appease and be weak. But if you're strong, CCP will fall.
Yeah.
So we need a strong U.S. government in November.
对
Yes. 他说就是这个，因为冷血刚才问他，就是说你觉得多久 CCP 能灭哈？他觉得就是真的要看大选。就是如果说大选我们是 Trump 是强大的一个美国，那这个 CCP 灭亡就会是非常非常快的。但是如果呢换成另外一边了，那么这个的话就美国他认为如果是另外一边，美国就不是一个 strong country 了。所以这样的话呢 ，CCP 的灭亡就会
没错，
稍微的在他看来是要困难一些的哈，就是
没错。给你透露一个小机密，我们俩的一个朋友，她的这个老公也是美国人啊，在中国工作了10几年吧，是一个很大的一个牌子的汽车的总裁啊，经常每年吧，应该就说每年都被中国大使馆北京的邀请去啊，每年，因为他是个大的总裁。他老婆也是中国人，我们的好朋友，他老婆是这个非常有名的模特啊，新丝路的啊。然后呢，她老公呢就是什么呢？她老公 工作的那个公司的大老板，他是中国公司的总裁嘛，被放到中国的嘛，中国区域的。他的大老板是谁呢？就是拜登的儿子。他太清楚这个拜登呢，哎呦，太清楚。只不过我想让他上这个 video，他有点不敢上，你知道吧？他也是咱们这个。
那就你之前说的那个女孩吗？你之前给我说过一个。
对，他也是，他也是，我让他，我说你让你老公上咱节目讲一讲，你们每年被中国大使馆邀请去，都给你们搞了什么蓝金花？他说，如果我不是跟我老公结婚了，估计我老公也被蓝金花了。
哦，这就真的防不胜防，这个太有可能了。
对，她老公非常清楚这个中国共产党那一套，太清楚。他在中国待了10几年嘛，他能不知道吗？他的大老板就是他曾经那个大老板就是拜登的儿子，你知道吗？儿子，对他跟中国有很多合作的项目，所以呢，你能扯得清不？你说如果拜登当总统了，你就去想吧，对不对？
现在拜登的那个，现在I think Biden will never win. You know why? Because the whole connection his son with CCP is already like I believe FBI has already know all the evidence and everything. So
unfortunately, the Democrat Party is a lot like CCP. They work every day, every minute to figure out a way to steal the election. They're going to have fake votes. It's definitely not guaranteed. Yes, a rational person would think that there's no contest because he's clearly not capable of running a donut shop. Forget about the U.S. He's a mental but he's got so much. The people supporting him will do anything, legal or illegal, to make him win. I'm very worried actually about this. So I really hope it works out okay.
他说那个就是正常人哈，就有脑子人都知道，这拜登呢，这肯定是别说经营美国了，就连经营一个甜甜圈店都经营不了哈，因为他的那个，因为他的这个什么身体的问题嘛哈。但是呢，就是Democratic 他们这个党派的话呢，是要尽一切可能的，就是要当选的哈，作假也好啊，还是怎么样哈，所以他还是很担心这件事儿的。所以回归到那个问题，冷雪
也是，我说是挺忧心。今天他跟我说他也很沉重，我说肯定能赢，他说是赢，但是如果他们要搞这种假骗术的话，
对。他还会告他的，就最后不是现在要上司法程序呢，还要，就是即使 Trump 赢了之后，然后呢就说他这个有问题，然后给他告下去，知道吗？所以咱们就不说那一块了哈，咱们这个Supreme Court 今天那个女士去世的那个也是影响很大的。对，也会影响很大，就是因为未来的话，如果真的投票，如果是要走官司的话哈，对，很大的。So I'm talking about I don't know the name of the lady who died.
Ginsburg, terrible person. But 100% Trump should nominate someone before the election. 100%.
Yes, exactly. 就是要聊政治，咱们就能一直聊下去了哈。Okay, so we can have a lot of talk. If we talk about American politics, right? We're gonna have a lot to talk.
可是我们可以永远谈下去，他可会讨厌了。哎呦，
对我因为那天跟他聊的时候讲共和党、民主党的时候，哇塞，真的是就是完全是同一种我们是绝对是这个同一党派的啊，就同一派的这个哈，绝对都是 Trump supporter 这一点哈，所以我就觉得这个的同道中人哈。然后今天咱们姐夫能讲这么久哈，我本来就讲一会儿算了哈，结果姐夫这个话匣子打开了，来劲了哈。姐夫平时回到家是很辛苦的，很累的，就不愿意说话的哈。真的是今天非常好。
Can I say it's been an honor speaking to you and your whole audience?
Yeah, of course.
I think that generally it's an honor to talk to such wonderful people, and I hope one day that we don't have to do this in secret, and I invite all of you to come have barbecue with me.
他说今天就是特别荣幸哈，就参加咱们这个访谈，然后见到大家。他说希望有一天咱们就不用藏着了，他邀咱们所有人去他们家吃 barbecue 哈。
对
Yes
对，他
OK，
可说的是真的。
这说的是真的，我觉得你们家没少吃 barbecue 吧，天天的，一有事儿就 barbecue， 对吧？一朋友聚会就 barbecue， 你看美国人就是没有别的事儿，就是 barbecue 嘛，对吧？没事儿一堆人吃个 barbecue， 喝点酒 ，right？
And 这你看
we also have drink together.
Yeah, I just mentioned that.
Okay.
Yes. So I just mentioned that, you guys are life is very simple for you and just barbecue or drinks. And then you just mentioned the drinks. Yes.
You don't have to mention it. All right.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So very thankful for coming to my show today and to meet all our Chinese audience. And so we definitely accept your invitation. And someday we believe we will meet together. We'll have the barbecue and a few drinks.
100% sure. I'm looking forward to it.
Okay. Me too. All right. So just prepare more meat. Chinese people like to eat meat.
Yeah, we'll start tomorrow.
What?
We'll start tomorrow.
Tomorrow what?
Start tomorrow.
We'll get ready.
Okay. Started to prepare.
他可喜欢 Yeah, you really 他原来不是那么爱那哈的 party， 然后他现在他就是要让中国人，他就是让他的 neighbor 啊 ，right? You always even a lot of Chinese people come your house.
Of course,
right?
fantastic.
他很喜欢中国人 ，fantastic Chinese.
Yes.
对他专门他的 neighbor 全都知道他整天和中国人搅在一起。
故意给他们看的是吧？
对，
故意给他们看的。哎呀，真的是。We need more Americans like you, like just really show your.
There's a lot. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
他的朋友都喜欢中国人。
也是冷血，也是你的原因，我觉得，对吧？你展示给了他们就中国人的形象哈，什么样的中国人
？Is because me. She say because of me.
I think one of the reason is because Sophia, right? Sophia shows you a new, different world of Chinese people, and I know you knew Chinese people, but Sophia, guide you to a deeper level. Do you agree?
I'm sure. Yeah, 100%. But I will say though that American people, there are a lot of American people that are just like me. So I'm not unique, and I hope people will be happy to hear that there's many people that are the same, just like me. So don't be careful what you hear on TV, because you hear a bad point of view a lot of times. It's not the real America that you hear on TV.
Yes. 他讲就是说，其实很多的美国人都像他一样的，都很喜欢中国人，所以不要被那个美国的很多的媒体啊这样的影响。其实就是大家美国的民众老百姓，他不 care 那些的，他就 care 你这个人，对吧？你是不是很热情的一个人？你是不是跟我聊得来的人？不就这么回事吗？对吧？所以就不要被 CCP 啊，还有不要被美国的一些媒体就左右了，说这种种族的问题呀，怎么样的哈，就是看不上哪个种族，看不上哪个种族。其实到最后熟悉了之后，大家都是人。Right. At the end of the day, we're all human. We're all humans, and it doesn't matter what nationality you have.
对，他今天
good people respect good people. That's the bottom line.
Good people respect. 对他今天还对这两天发生个啥事儿，我估计墙内的人可能知道啊，就是好像中国老是拉警报，就是给那个信息啊，我不知道这里有没有墙内的人啊，就是发那个信息，就是说什么要试验警报呀，请大家怎么，就类似于那种警报吧，就拉警报的信息啊，
培训练一下，大家看是不是警报来是不是能躲呀？
对，就制造那种紧张的气氛，不就是让大家害怕吗？好像美国要打中国了。然后他说你在看什么？因为我也有中国手机，包括我的朋友也有，他们还发给我。 他们就说你看，对，我就给他看，然后他就很难过，他说 I'm so sorry，他说为什么要这样去吓他们呢？他说美国不会打中国的，他说为什么要去吓这些人民呢？他说 I'm so sorry for the Chinese people，我说他就是要吓，说美国要打，他说你要告诉他们，美国绝对不会第一个动手，永远不会去打中国第一个动手的，他说不可能，他说CCP so bad， 他说 scare the Chinese people，you remember the text？对，他说这是个非常不对的行为，他说没有这样的，他说这样的去吓人的。
吓唬，然后产生仇恨嘛，就觉得美国人快打我们了哈，所以未来的话，只要是提一下美国，那中国人就都上了，对吧？无论是干嘛的，到底是打美国还是打别人的，谁知道打谁呢？反正就是仇恨制造了嘛。对，这种就是你根据美国历史来说，美国人是没有主动打过谁的，不是吗？
对，他就说，他说怎么样都不会去打人的，对，他斩首，他说就把那个就和文贵先生说的，就把那几个习近平那几个给他们来个斩首，就把那几个坏蛋给弄了。他说给他们枪毙了，他说不会去炸，他说不会有战争那种去炸中国人，不会的。
现在也用不着那样，确实是，战争也不是那个样子了，确实现在定点爆破就绝对是这样的哈。哎，所以把老百姓吓成这样，真的是这个是我觉得太不人道了。
我们老百姓来当枪子儿嘛，好像意思太让人起哄，
真的是，哎呦天哪！
真的，我觉得这个拉警报这个事情真恶心，你知道吧？把我们家就那些人他们都发信息，他们很害怕，你知道吗？他们真的很害怕了。内地的
觉得可能要打了，这就是嘛，就是制造恐惧，这是这个统治者的哈一个非常惯用的手段，制造恐惧嘛。所以就是最大的恐惧就恐惧本身哈，所以希望强烈的战友们哈，要知道这个最大的恐惧就是恐惧本身哈。所以说呢，咱们这个就 live fearless， 就是无恐惧的活着哈，真的是内心强大哈。好，那今天咱们就先到这儿呗。
So she
said,
yeah.
Okay,
we have like 7 minutes, and so I will call your new name, Zhang Long. Sophia, so such a tacky name， 太土了这个名字。
像龙吧，叫龙的挺多。他说这是啥意思？我说扎根，他说怎么给我起个这名字？我说这好的名字 ，Number One。Dragon
Zhang Dragon Zhang My goodness Okay All right
谢谢朋友
我的朋友我的中国朋友
我的中国朋友
Yeah
OK
谢谢我的
中你这说的带新疆味儿了都真的是然后对咱们这样我们都说姐夫have a great night because we know that it's very late right now right all there 他们在东部哈 it's very late already
Yes good night to you and everybody else so nice to talk to you
Nice to talk to you too we really learned a lot and we are really thankful for you sharing your stories wholeheartedly
Best of luck in the future I support you 100%
Okay Thank you so much. And let's wait for CCP to be taken down someday, very soon.
他说他不能等待了。
Cannot wait.
这个共产党只要一倒台，他说把你们的战友都叫到我的这儿俱乐部来。他说我这地方大，上他说到我们这 barbecue 了，整天
barbecue 了，我们弄一个 barbecue 专场。
他觉得很难受，他说为什么不能露面？我说不能，他说那
不能露面，
凭什么要露面？在美国，我说不行，你得保护。他说哦，好吧。他觉得
对，尤其是冷血，你在这儿很容易就能锁定你的，对吧？很容易锁定你，很容易锁定他的。Okay, so let's just wait for the barbecue gala. We're gonna have a barbecue gala.
Yeah, we can have in many different states here or in Florida, wherever you want to. We have lots of places to go.
Okay, sounds good. 一听这个大款了，这就是 Okay. All right, so thank you very much.
谢谢。
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. Have a great night.
You too.
Bye.
Bye bye.
拜拜
拜拜。
拜拜。
OK， 这个现在已经给起了外号叫这个冷血的未来老公 BBQ 哥啊。好了，今天真的是一下聊了2小时啊。我们这个姐夫可真的是可以哈，真的是可以。今天我们聊的也是范围比较广哈，比较深哈。感谢大家这么久哈，陪这么久哈。咱们今天就先到这儿了哈，先到这儿了，耽误大家时间哈，好久啊，今天聊了。OK， 但是很开心啊，好嗨森哈！我觉得咱们这个姐夫的话也是太好的一个美国人了哈，就是真正的很多的美国人都是这样的。我希望通过这个节目，咱们能够知道哈，简单单纯的这么点事儿哈，咱们别 CCP 弄得咱们就用那个歪的斜的去想美国人哈，你真的是都是人，都是要过日子的，是不是？所以说呢，咱们祝福我们的 Sophia 哈，祝福我们冷血。然后我们也祝福这个姐夫哈，希望他们赶紧的，等这个冷血这个离婚这事儿处理清楚了哈，就赶紧的啊，咱们都去 BBQ 去了啊。好，然后呐喊助威啊，刚才没来得及跟您聊哈，感谢呐喊助威说感谢让我们你们传播的力量无限大的，让世界知道我们的人民爱和平、善良、友好。对的哈。好了，米娅小秘密哈，不辛苦哈。那咱们今天就不读咱们战友的评论了哈，今天没有时间了哈。但是我从这冷血听到918这个防空洞这个什么警报这事儿哈，我看文琴刚才也说了，文琴是不是也听着了？太邪恶了这个。好了啊，今天咱们就先到这儿哈，希望大家不要恐惧哈。就最大的恐惧是恐惧本身，文琴说有的，文琴也听到了。不要恐惧哈，内心坚定，然后内心勇敢哈，不要被那些东西所影响。那个警报拉起来真挺吓人的哈，那真的是我觉得太可以了，他们哈，真是。所以我说，就当没听见啊，就当没听见，咱们等待胜利的那一天啊。好了啊，国内拉警报了啊，故意吓唬人哈，说美国要来打了，是这意思啊。好了，咱们今天就先到这儿，感谢大家啊，我们明天见啊！戴上耳机听 Take Down 的 CCP。对了啊，一拉警报就戴耳机听 Take Down 的 CCP， 好主意啊！好，拜拜，老文，拜拜哈。然后警告传递，哎呦呵，恐怖哈。好了，就先到这儿啊，拜拜，感谢大家啊。